Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to EVC Media. This is Elgon View College, all the way from Eldoret Town. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning, and I hope you're having it as beautiful as I am having it. Welcome to the newspaper review this morning. My name is Arasa Enoch Sinde. Without wasting much of your time, I'm going to give you a couple of papers. I have the Standard newspaper, I have the Daily Nation newspaper, I have People Daily newspaper, I also have the Star newspaper, and we'll finish with Taifa Leo newspaper. Let's go back straight to the Standard newspaper. Looking so juicy this morning. You are on your own. You're on your own. This is a headline on the Standard newspaper this morning, and it's saying you're on your own. Measures Cabinet Secretary tell dialogue team that things are beyond their control, and instead of putting in place measures to bring down the cost of living, Kenyans should brace for tougher times ahead. Page 4 all the way to page 5. Cabinet Secretary there, I can quote him. He's saying that things are not getting any easier. You can see the 300 shillings there. It means it's a projection for that they're saying Energy CS says the cost of fuel could rise to an all-time high of the conflict between Israel and Hamas does dissipate. But the central bank says the war has not affected prices yet. I'm going to quote the CS in Njuguna Ndungu, who says the Hustler Fund government to government deal affordable housing is an intervention. The whole issue is you start it off, and once it is working, you release it to the market. Treasury CS, that is Njuguna Ndungu, just made a quote, and they're saying you're on your own. On the other side, this is Davis Chirchir. This is the Energy CS, and I read his quote. He says, I read an article that international prices could go to $150 per barrel because of the Israel-Hamas war, which would literally mean our products going to a high of 300 shillings per liter. That means that fuel will be selling or will be retailing at 300 shillings very, very soon, according to CS Energy. That is Davis Chirchir. So much is written down on this inside this paper, the Standard newspaper this morning. You can get to read that and much more on the matter. You're on your own. Moving on, investigations always ongoing for journalists killed or hurt by police. Is a special report on page 10 all the way to page 11. You can get to read that and much more about that story. Thousands displaced as heavy rains continue to wreak havoc. Kenyans across the country continue to feel the heat from the heavy downpour, with 10,000 displaced in Tana River and thousands more losing property and livelihood. Page 8, not a very good picture right there. Floods are causing havoc. You can get also to read about that story and much more. Page number 9, imports body warns of dire food shortage. The Kenya National Trading Corporation says the country is in short of rice, edible oils, maize, and beans, and could be forced to import items. Page 9 matters importation of food is written in this paper, The Standard. Let's get back to page 2 and 3. How Kenya oil deal ruined trade with Uganda. How did this trade between Kenya and Uganda get ruined by the oil deal? Page 2 all the way to page 3, it is written in there. KRA predicts a decline in corporate tax. Page 21, Matters Business. You can get to read about that in the Standard newspaper. And Matters Sports in the Standard newspaper, they're saying hockey team left chasing shadows. Sport, that is page number 30. You can get to read about that and much more on the Standard. Let's go straight to the Daily Nation. Daily Nation this morning, the big story right here is 300 shillings per liter for petrol on cards. And they're saying on Matters Economy that neighboring Tanzania has reduced the fuel prices for November. How comes Kenya is yet to rise? Tough amid the expectation that fuel prices will drop next week when the government releases its monthly review, given the current decline in global crude prices. Energy Minister Davis Chichiru yesterday warned the prices could rise to historic high due to the Israel-Hamas war. This would make life even more difficult for many Kenyans struggling under the current high cost of living. Page number 4, you can read about that and so much more. Doesn't look so good, doesn't sound so good, but either way, this is still Kenya. Moving on, page 6 all the way to page 7. There's a beautiful picture right there of a beautiful lady doing examinations. And they're saying Form 4 candidates at St. Clair Girls Secondary School in Elbugon, Nakuru County, write their chemistry paper. That is paper 1 test yesterday during the first day of the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE National Examination. So much more about that story written on this Daily Nation newspaper. You can read about that and so much more concerning that story and a little bit more. Getting back on the side of this newspaper, it's a very sad story right there, where down crash claim 11, and they're saying it's not a very good picture. It's an accident. 2 vehicles collided, and they're saying 11 people die at dawn yesterday when a matatu and a lorry collided head-on on the busy Nakuru Eldoret Highway. 8 people die on the spot, while 3 others succumbed to their injuries, and they were being rushed to hospital. Witnesses account in a road traffic report indicated the driver of the lorry lost control and veered off his lane before colliding with the matatu. Page number 2, you can read about that and so much more. And all that is saying 3 a.m. time the accident happened in Ngata area on the Nakuru Eldoret Highway. You can read about that and so much more. So sad. Sorry to all that lost their loved ones. Sorry for those also who lost their lives. Haste. Page 11. This is a very interesting story and so juicy. How did this happen? What is really happening? Haste. Security firms staff makes away with retailers 94 million. 2 employees of security firm Wells Fargo are on the run after allegedly stealing 94 million in cash belonging to retail giant Quickmart. Page 11. My goodness, this is a shocker. How did these guys get to run away with 94 million? Can they look for me and give me some bit of that money? Anyway, I hope they'll be found and this money will be recovered. Page 11, you can read about that haste. What happened? What are the circumstances? How did the money get to their hands? I mean, it's been a business. I mean, these people have been doing a very good job. For once, 94 million lost on their hands. You can read about that and so much more. Page 8, crime. Police search for man over ex-wife's murder. Police in Nairobi are looking for a man who allegedly stabbed his ex-wife to death before going underground in the Kariadudu area of Babadogo mid last month. Page 8, not a good story. You can read about it also in this paper, the Daily Nation. Music Matters Music. And they're saying people's rendition of top Rumba song goes viral. What started as a performance to entertain guests as a farewell party has turned a group of people from Migori Primary School into celebrities overnight. Page number 3. By the way, is it good for young kids or young children, school-going children, to become popular and ride the wave of popularity on the social media? Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about that story. But you can read about that particular story on page number 3. Matters Healthy Nation saying children or childless not by choice. Childless not by choice. You can read about that and so much more. You can also read a story about powering SMEs and from Kibera to World. Headlines, the fashion business. You can read about that story and so much more on a daily newspaper. Allow me to move a little bit to People Daily. And on People Daily, the headline, the big story here is petrol prices set to hit 300 per litre. Page number 4, they're saying that dark clouds, CS Chirichir claims a raging Israeli-Palestine war could lead to increase in cost of fuel by next week, but CBK, Central Bank of Kenya, differs, saying international cost of oil has declined due to warning impact of Middle East conflict. Page number 4, you can get rid about that story. We've also tackled the same story in different papers. You can get rid about that and so much more on this People Daily. 11 die in a Kuru Road accident. You can see there, it's not a very good picture, so we say sorry. And our sincere condolences to those that lost their lives and those that lost their family members and friends. Page number 8, you can read about that story. It's a very bad, sad story. State allays the fear of cheating in KCSE exam. You can read about that on page 6. State allays the fears over cheating in KCSE exam. Page 15, KRA rips big from airtime tax. My goodness, KRA rips big from airtime tax. Excise duty collection outperformed all other revenue head in the first quarter of the current financial year. You can get rid about that story and so much more on this newspaper. Remember, it's People Daily. Let's move straight to the Star, and the big headline right here is Kenya paying for Uhuru blunders. That's claim Ruto's men. Kenya paying for Uhuru blunders. Ruto's men. Treasury CS Njuguna Ndungu warns against tampering with current tax measures. Page 4 all the way to page 5. What is happening? Kenya's paying for Uhuru blunders. What are these blunders? Page 4 all the way to page 5. You can get to read about that and so much more, beg your pardon. State promises to assist flood victims as rain wreak havoc. You can get rid of it. Not looking so good. The picture is so disturbing. Matters. You can see the houses there. You can see the Red Cross people walking bare feet, trying to rescue people. You can see the animals are also in trouble. And all the way, this is all happening in Kenya. And remember, matters El Nino has been talked about for quite a long time. And finally, we can see rains falling all over Kenya. What is happening? Is it a sign of a serious El Nino? Remember, money was sent to the counties to take care of this havoc. What is the county doing? What are the counties doing? Either way, you can read about the story and so much more. Page all the way, page 24. You can get rid about this story. Page 2 on this paper also, they're saying Njiru resident, this is a Kirima land saga, and they're saying Njiru residents want eviction orders halted. Page 2, residents of Njiru Estate in Nairobi have now moved to court seeking stay orders against a judgment that directed they be evicted from over 1,000 acres of land belonging to deceased politician Gershon Kirima. The over 500 residents had asked that their case be certified urgent owing to the threat of eviction after being given only 90 days to vacate. Page number 2, you can read about that story. It's just not a very good story, but you can get to read about it in page number 2. Also on page number 2, inside job, they're asking, is this an inside job where security firm staff disappear with the 94 million? Would it probably be an inside job? That is a question being asked on page number 2 regarding the money that got lost. And they're saying police yesterday launched a manhunt for the 2 employees of security firm who stole 94.9 million they were supposed to deliver to a bank in Nairobi. The money was from a vault belonging to the security firm in the industrial area and was to be delivered to a bank in the CBD when the incident happened at about 6 a.m. Such a very sad story to the businessmen who are working hard to make profits amidst the hard time. Page 2, you can read about that story and so much more. Page 16, Voices, Michael Waikenda, African Unity. Kenya must take lead. Oh my, Kenya must take lead. Get to read about that and so much more on The Voice on page number 16. That is all on the Star newspaper. There's still something here on matters politics and talks stalemate. They're asking, would this be a talks stalemate? And he's saying Azimio won't sign a bipartisan deal if cost of living is not addressed. That is Raila Odinga. Azimio won't sign bipartisan deal if cost of living is not addressed. Page 6, you can get to read about that and so much more on matters bipartisan talks or deals. Let's finish with the Taifa Leo. And on the Taifa Leo, big story right there is mipango ya serikali ya kunywa maji. Mipango ya serikali ya kunywa maji. And what do they mean by that? They're saying that serikali yaanza kupoteza mabilioni huku kampuni zikifuta maelfu mbali na kubuni mbinu za kuepuka ushuru. Page number 2, they're saying janja na janjaure. Wakenya na mamiliki wa biashara wabuni mbinu mbalimbali za kuhepa makali ya ushuru na kodi mpya za serikali ili kudumisha faida na ajira. On page number 2, you can get read about that and so much more. And they are talking about bei za mafuta. KRA yapoteza shilingi bilioni 12 baada ya Wakenya wengi kuacha kutumia magari yao kutokana na bei ya juu ya mafuta. M-Pesa, they are saying kwamba wanabiashara waondoa huduma ya till number ili kuepuka ushuru wa mauzo wa 3% kwa kila biashara inayoingiza shilingi milioni moja kwa mwaka. Wawekezaji wa kigeni, they are also saying that zaidi ya wawekezaji 6,000 wajiondoa katika soko la hisa la Nairobi NSE katika muda wa chini ya mwaka moja. Mikataba ya kikazi, waajiri waamua kuajiri vibarua baada ya wafanyikazi wa kudumu ili kuhepa ada ya nyumba, NSSF, NHIF na ushuru wa mapato. There's so much written in this paper in Kiswahili. You can read so much more about that and understand what they're talking about. And on page 4, they are saying mafuriko yasababisha janga. And they are saying that magavana wa eneo la kaskazini mashariki walilia usaidizi kutoka kwa serikali kuu. Page number 4, the governors from these areas, kaskazini mashariki, they want help, man. They're asking for serikali tupatie pesa. Amerika yaisukuma Israeli vikali, huku waliokufa wakifika 10,000. Israeli yatakiwa isitishe mapigano. Ukurasa wa 8, you can get read about that story and so much more. And matters sports, UEFA, Man City waalika wanyonge. Milan, PSG wakirudiana miamba wa EPL watarajiwa kuliza young boys. You can get read about that story and much more on page 20, Matter Sports. And let's just finish with page 5. They are saying that wasiwasi wa ukeketaji Samburu. Wasichana wa shule waogopa kukeketwa na kuozwa katika likizo ndefu. So much story about that on page number 5. And matters examinations, KCSE, ukurasa wa 3. KCSE, walimu wa shule za msingi pakavu. Mitihani wa kitaifa wa kidato cha 4 kusimamiwa na walimu wa sekondari pekee. On page number 5, you can read about that and so much more. Let me take this time to thank all of you that have joined me on this live broadcast. Remember, this is EVC Media, all the way from the Elgon View College, and my name is Arasa Inoxinde. I want to thank you. Remember, if you're a student and you'd wish to join Elgon View College, we are open. We welcome you to join us today. Remember, this is the media department, but we also have other departments which can take care of anything you need. Anything you want, the best quality ever, this is a place to get all that. This is Elgon View College, and of course, this is EVC Media, quality oriented. Till tomorrow, same time, same place. It's a bye-bye from me.